Hi everyone, so today we are going to talk about something slightly different from watches. I will tell you more about this power bank. So it's something coming from Sharge, and as you can see that's the MagSafe power bank. And recently I was needing something what will be useful with an iPhone, because sometimes I just need to charge it in time without any wires. So that's why I decided to find a MagSafe power bank, and that's why we will be checking it together today, because it's completely new model. So as I said, the Icemag 2 is completely new development. It was introduced in November and I decided to pre-order it. I managed to catch the Black Friday deal, so it was quite interesting to check it in person. And here comes the main disclaimer, because this video is not sponsored by the Sharge. It's actually my own purchase by help with your donations, so that's why it will be interesting to check it. And I am also not limited by any application, so I am free to tell you how it actually behaves in the real life. So first I would like to start a bit with the ordering process, because it might be sounding something simple, but in reality you can actually catch this power bank with a small discount, so definitely keep track of the recent promotions on the official website and you can get a really nice discount, which will make this power bank price a bit more attractive. And also the delivery might take a bit longer, because for me, I received the DHL tag some time ago, and then it took 2 weeks from this moment to actually get to my place. So it was quite a wait, and there was like no notifications or anything, so you had just to wait and expect that something will arrive to you. So as you saw in the unboxing, and I will show it right now as well, packaging is quite simple. It's the silver colored box. We also have the image of the power bank. We have some specifications. On the rear you can also see some main features. They are written in Chinese and also in English language. We have also the technical specifications. As you can see, we even have the battery capacity and rated capacity. So rated is written as the 6000 mAh, so it's a bit smaller than the 10,000. And we also have the weight here, which is around 220 grams, and the size, and of course that it contains the USB-C port. So inside, as you can see, we have this nice green flap, but inside you just find the power cable. You have the bank in this plastic bag, as you saw in the video, and we have the user manual. So that's pretty much all. And now I think it's a time to talk about the power bank itself. So just to give you an idea about the size, I mean, I will be showing it also in the detailed shots, but here you can see it in my hand. It's not that huge, and it also quite light because it's just 200 grams. But there are a few things which I would like to say about this power bank, because first of all it was advertised as quite an innovative product, so that's why there are a few moments to mention which you should be aware, in my opinion. So as you can notice, there are no sharp edges, everything is smooth. Also we have a bit edges here, but it's also not that sharp. And the overall design is quite easy to handle, it doesn't cut into your palms, so quite a useful thing, especially if you place it here on the back of iPhone. So here I have the 16 Pro Max and I have the UAG case with the MagSafe. You will see also detailed shots with it, but as you can see it attaches simply, and now you have the charge visible here, and then we have this RGB lighting, and altogether it becomes quite an assembly, but still it's easy to handle and it actually gives you a bit more leverage on the phone, and as you can see it's also quite a sturdy connection. Nevertheless, the white color here, I wouldn't say it's an advantage, so I will just disconnect it from the phone, because the white color gets dirty really quickly. It's easy, well, relatively easy to clean, but still it's a question how long it will stay in this very clean and white shape. Because I've been using it for relatively short time. I wouldn't say that 1 month is indicative of what will happen with your power bank, but as you can see it's quite clean, because I managed to clean all of the dirt marks in time and they didn't stay in place for quite a long period, so it was easy to remove them. Also, the front side here is not that generous on the writings, in my opinion. That's really good. We have really modest logo here. We have also the information about the size of this power bank and also what is the maximum amperage you can get from it, and that's pretty much all. So quite a simple, elegant design. We have also here this metal plate, which I will tell you more about a bit later, and we have of course this clear cutout here where you can see the motherboard inside and cooling fan as well. So even though I say that the writings are not that huge, the same applies to this indication of the charge. As you can see, there's really tiny dots. It could be bigger. We also have these lines here, diagonal ones, and I think they could have used these lines because it would be way more original and it would be easier to notice these large lines instead of the small dots, and it would be way more original in comparison with other power banks. So the weight is clocked at 220 grams, as I said before. It might sound a lot, but actually when you attach it to the iPhone, it's not that huge, especially considering that you get the benefit of not using any cables at all, and you can also shoot the videos with it attached. You can also use it as a nightstand, so there are a lot of things which you can do. And also the second generation is actually smaller than the first one. I didn't have a chance to use the first one, but if you check the official photos you will see that it's actually reduced in the size and retained the same capacity as the first one. So in comparison with the first one, we also get a different feature here which is new for the second generation. This is this kickstand. So as you can see, that's a simple plastic border which retracts from the bottom. It has one fixed position, no positions in the middle, as you can see, and it's quite flimsy. It's thin plastic which is not too flexible, but still I would rather prefer it to be metal just to be more sturdy. And as you can see, it doesn't lock in place, so I had few cases when you just try to pick up the phone when it was lying on the display and you pick up for this stand, not for the battery, and this is not I would say confidence inspiring, so definitely something to work, even though we have a really tiny gap here which should fix it in place, but it does not. And also another thing which worth saying, it would be cool also to have this stand actually activating something different, because when you are using it, it could have been the higher fan speed or maybe the different lighting, just because you are actually placing the phone in the vertical position. You have all of the air cutouts open, so it could have been working in a bit faster mode or something else what will distinguish it from the simple closed down position. So one of the disappointments here for me is the gloss cover on the front side. As you can see, it covers whole side, and this material looks nice out of the box, but then once you start using it you can get scratches really easily and you can get really deep scratches. So I managed to catch a few. They're not visible on such video, let's say, but you will see probably them on some detail shots, and of course it's really difficult to remove the scratches, so they will stay forever. And I'm not sure why it was chosen like this, because it does not provide anything, and actually this is the place where you will be gripping if you are holding the phone, so it would be way better to have the matte surface or maybe even the not glossy surface with some texture, so that the grip will be better. But here we have the glossy surface and you have to live with it. So the metal plate is also covered by this plastic cover, and this is something what I was expecting to be outside. I thought that it will be used actually for the temperature regulation, it will be used as the radiator, but as you can see here it's just covered by plastic and you cannot do anything, so this is quite a shame. It could have been a really good opportunity to have a radiator grill here, but we do not have it, and the same can be said about this lower section. It is actually, if you see here this line, these are two separate parts and you can actually feel the connection between them, between these two parts, so it's not a solid panel, which is also quite weird. I would rather expect to have them as a one solid cover just for the sake of the overall use, because this is something, again, the part which you are touching a lot. And here through the clear part you are seeing the motherboard and you are seeing the fan. So overall it's quite an interesting design, but it's interesting only first 1 hour, I would say, but then you just get used to it and you don't pay attention to this feature at all. Of course, it is hard to miss one of the main features of this power bank, because they claim that it's the most powerful power bank with the active cooling because of the small fan, and to be honest, I had really high expectations for this, not only because of the ads, but also because it was interesting to see how this wireless charging will be actually cooled down with the help of this small fan. Well, actually it does not, so you can get the really small reduction in the temperature, I suppose, but the most part of what you get is the extra noise, because it's quite noisy and in the silent environments it's a bit too noticeable. So this is something what might be a really deal breaker for some who like silent charging. They're getting the wireless charger actually to have the silent charging wirelessly, obviously, but to be honest and in all truth, it's actually not that noticeable on the street environment. So in case you have it in your pocket or you're just walking on the street and you're shooting something nearby, then it's completely okay. But if you are sitting in the living room where it's just the room tone, so then you will notice this thing for sure. So as I said, it does not provide that much help as it could, and also it will be interesting to see how it will look like after more time being used actively in the normal life, because as you can see we have two openings for this fan, and usually fans are attracting the dust, so this one will not be an exclusion and you will get all the dust inside. So it will be quite interesting how this dust will accumulate inside. Another feature which is embedded inside this fan is the RGB lighting, and this is something where I'm, to be honest, not sure why it is even present here, because it does not do any wow effect. It actually makes the whole power bank look cheaper. Why? Because you get the lighting only on the fan. You will see it also on the detailed videos, and this side lighting, because the fan case is clear, so you get the side lighting on the motherboard through the openings, but it's not that bright, it's not that even, so it looks really weird and you cannot switch it off. This is something to consider, and to be honest, it looks way too toyish with an iPhone, so maybe some of you will not be huge fans of such solution, and in my opinion it could be cooler if the RGB lighting would be here, at least on the bottom border, so that it will be more even and it will be more noticeable, and you can also switch between the various modes or even completely switch it off if you don't like such features. So for the charging we have two options, and of course the first one is the wireless, but I would like to start with the wired charging, because this was something what I was not considering as the main selling point for this power bank, because we have here the only one USB-C point on the bottom. And why I'm saying on the bottom, because if you retract this kickstand, that's where you get the stand and the port as well. So if you would like to attach any cable, you will not be able, because it will be quite a weird position, and I'm not sure why it was not placed on the top side or maybe even on both sides, and then it would be possible to accumulate or get two ports. This will be a way better feature than just one port, but it actually manages to pump out the 30 watts charging, so it works nicely with, for example, my MacBook Pro. It was charging quickly, so if you are planning to use it not only wirelessly but also in a wired mode, then you will not have any issues, so do not worry about this. Official website claims that the MagSafe attachment is actually increased in strength, so you can notice it here. For example, you just place it and it holds in place. You can shake it as much as you want, but it will not disassemble or disconnect from the phone, so that's really good. And obviously you will not be shaking while charging it, and as you can see, it doesn't take a lot of effort to disconnect it, so that's quite good as well. And as I said, I'm using this UAG case with the MagSafe, so this is also not sponsored. I'm just saying that my configuration works, and it's really useful when you are a fan of the MagSafe accessories, because you can just interchange them on the back of the phone and also attach to the car stand, and etc, etc. So quite good thing. And the charging overall is quite fast. They claim that it will be wirelessly around 15 watts, so in a wired mode you get 30, in a wireless you get 15. I'm quite okay with this because you get the freedom of being wireless, and you can also continue using your phone or maybe even use it as a nightstand, so this is really great thing and you get to experiment with it. But maybe it could be also cool to ditch this metal attachment and maybe get another MagSafe around here. Maybe it's possible also to glue it by yourself. Why? Because you can also use some additional accessories. For example, for the video shootings you can use the MagSafe Lite, which will not be interrupted by attaching this power bank. So maybe this is the plan for the third generation, but I would rather see it here because it's quite a useful thing to have. So to sum up, I would say that for me the main advantage of this power bank was the 15 watt wireless charging, and I would say it works nicely. I'm not a huge fan of the fan and also RGB lighting, because this looks really weird. It doesn't add anything in terms of the value, it doesn't reduce the temperature, so I would rather have them completely removed or maybe even modified to be bigger. Who knows, maybe it will be coming in the next generation. But overall I would say the quality of this product is quite fine, and if you are okay to live with RGB lighting and constantly noisy fan, then it might be a good choice for you, because it will be a really neat way to use your iPhone continuously without interrupting with the various wires. And also it manages to charge the iPhone basically 2-3 times in my case, in a case of 16 Pro Max, so it might be the same for you. And official price actually at the moment of this video recording is $70 US. As I said, you can also catch a really nice discount, so keep track of their website and you'll be lucky to get one as I did. I got mine I think for $50 US, which is quite reasonable. I would say it's comparable with the competitors on the market. And if you are searching for this particular type of the product, not because of the active cooling, not because of the RGB lighting, but because of the really good wireless charging and also a really good wireless attachment, then definitely look into this site. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it in the comment section below, and press the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this video and you would like to get the new videos in time. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.